Bonjour et bienvenue à Gourmet. We are starting our second cookbook. It's the one that you guys voted for on Instagram and YouTube. And we are starting Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child, Louise Bertholle, and Simone Beck. You guys probably all know about this cookbook. It's one of the cookbooks people have. I've only used it once. I've only made the boeuf bourguignon, but I am excited to try it. So we're going to start cooking our way through, and our first recipe is going to be soupe à l'oignon, which of course is just French onion soup. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to have the little piece of French bread on top. We're going to broil it in the oven. So I'm excited to make this. I'm kind of excited to be in my Julie and Julia era. If you don't know, go watch the movie. It's pretty good. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's get started. So to start our French onion soup, we need 1.5 pounds of onions sliced. It's just yellow onions, and it's about 3 yellow onions. I got some pretty decently sized ones, so just weigh them out at the grocery store. I am, full disclosure, tempted to put another one in just because I like onion in my French onion soup, but we're not going to do that. We're going to follow the recipe. So I'm just going to chop these onions. I mean, if you guys have seen it, you guys know how to chop an onion. They're not that hard. I get really close to the butt, you can see here. And that is how I slice my onions. You can see they're nice. They're thinly sliced. I cried a little bit. But yeah, that's where we go. We're going to put those in the pan. I'm going to not make you sit here and watch me cook all these onions or chop all these onions. So I'll see you guys when that part's finished. So I'm still crying. We've got all our onions chopped. You can see we've got this Le Creuset. I actually don't know how much this holds, but it holds just about 1.5 pounds of onion, which is about 5 cups according to the cookbook. We're gonna put in 3 tablespoons of butter. Now I am using the European style butter, so it's gonna have a little bit more fat content to it. But I thought for a French cookbook, whatever kind of butter is there. And then we are going to add in a tablespoon of oil. I'm just using an extra virgin olive oil because I have it. It doesn't specify what kind of oil, but I assume some an extra virgin olive oil, something like that. I'm just going to eyeball that. And then we're going to start these on low. Oh, sorry. Those onions, you know it's bad when the first onion gets to you. Oh, geez. Well, we're going to let these kind of start cooking on low for about 15 minutes. And then things will get going. We'll bump up the temperature, and then they'll start to get brown and caramelized and all that stuff. Doing onions this way does take a long time. Okay, so we've had our onions cooking for 15 minutes. You can see literally nothing has changed. Maybe I had it on too low, but our butter's kind of melted. Our onions have definitely started to cook in here, but definitely not all the way. So really nothing has changed, or else I would try to do a better overhead shot. I'm trying to get into those this time. But now we're going to salt them and then put some sugar in them the sugar's going to help caramelize everything. And then we're going to turn up the heat. And this time we're going to actually stay around and kind of stir it as we go. Last time we just let it sit. But we're trying to really caramelize them, but we don't want them to burn. That's the whole thing. So let me go ahead. I am going to add my salt. Actually, we'll use the other flaky salt. I won't use the Himalayan salt. I'll use the flaky salt. There we go. That feels right. So part of not measuring, you can go wrong. And then let me actually go get some sugar. Now we only need 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. So I'm just gonna open up my bag, get in my spoon, and I'm gonna go with about that much, which is probably a little too much. But I've made onions kind of like this before, not from this cookbook, but just in life. And a little extra sugar never hurt anybody. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a stir. And then I'm gonna bump up the temperature, and we'll cook these on like medium for just about 30 minutes, or if the cookbook says 30 to 40, I have a feeling we're gonna be closer to 30. I might be wrong, but I will show you guys when those are finished. Just so you guys have a close-up of what the onions look like, this is what they're looking like after about 35 minutes. Which is right about where we want it to be. You can see they're really nice golden brown. We do have a couple spots that aren't as golden brown, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and get ready for the next step. So we need 3 tablespoons of flour for this. I know it's, I feel like the smoke has really gotten in the way. We need 3 tablespoons of flour for this. I'm gonna go ahead and just get it on low for right now. And get in our 3 tablespoons of flour. That's probably 2. Ooh, our stock is boiling. Let me move that out of the way. Maybe turn that down just a smidge. I'm going to go ahead, stir in all the flour. We're going to cook this for about 3 minutes with the onions and the flour. Keep mixing this around, and then I'm gonna actually, you know what? Where's my other one? Here we go. Take these guys and take our stock that's been boiling and just pour it in. Ooh, hot, hot. Ow. Ow. That's good enough. Hot, 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 hot. Gonna move that a little bit so that we don't boil anything, because we are supposed to be doing this off heat. Turn off all our burners. Give this a nice stir. I think this, you know how sometimes French onion soup has all those really good onions at the bottom? I don't know if this one's going to do that or not, which is fine. We are just kind of, I'm going to scoot this back over to our burner just so that we have it. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is we need half a cup of dry white wine or vermouth. So I actually already owned this. This is the vermouth I'm using. I bought it for a cocktail and have that much left. So we're going to go ahead and measure out half a cup of vermouth. Add that in there. Set these to the side. Give this a nice stir. And as far as the cookbook is concerned, this is ready to set aside until we are ready to serve. So we are technically making a variation in this book of the soupe à l'oignon, or the French onion soup. We're making a soupe à l'oignon gratinée, which is the French onion soup that we all know and love. It's the French onion soup with the piece of French toast on top, or French toast, the toasted baguette, and cheese broiled onto it. So that's what we're actually making today. So we're going to go ahead, let this sit, and I'm going to get all the other ingredients prepped. Let me show you the baguette I bought. I bought this baguette. It looked really good at the grocery store. This is what it looks like. It smells incredible. um, yeah, so we're gonna let that sit there. I'm gonna chop some of the bread. I'm trying to think of how much bread I want. I'm alone, so probably just a little bit of the bread. Um, and then we'll start to grate some cheese. I'm not going to show you grating cheese because I think you all know how to grate cheese if you want. And if you don't want to do it, you can buy pre-grated cheese. But we are using a combination of Swiss cheese and a little bit of Parmesan. But I'm going to cut this, get this toasted in the oven, get our cheese grated. So I'll see you when all of that is finished, just because why do you want to watch that? I know I wouldn't really. Yeah, so I'll see you guys when all of that is finished. Well, we've just finished with our toasting our toast and grating our cheese. This is what it all looks like. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio with 2 parts Swiss cheese, 1 part Parmesan. The recipe technically calls for 1.5 cups grated Swiss or Swiss and Parmesan. So I did kind of like a 2-to-1. It is not 1.5 cups because I'm making a single serving of soup for myself. So I didn't grate all the cheese and I didn't toast all my bread. But you guys get it. What we are going to do right now, before we ladle our soup into our cute little soup pot, we're actually going to add 3 tablespoons of cognac. This is the cognac I got. It's Hennessy. I bought it from this local liquor store called The Good Pour. I think it's really great. They kind of, every portion of your sales goes back to charity, and you can kind of pick different charities. It's really cool. So if you're in the Orlando area, I definitely recommend checking that one out. And we're just going to add 3 tablespoons of that to our soup. That feels like it might have been a Sandra Lee kind of 3 tablespoons, but that's okay. Now, this recipe, like I said, we're kind of going farther than just the original French onion soup recipe. We're doing the gratinée, which is the French onion soup you and I know and love. But if you didn't want to do that, once you add the cognac, it's ready to serve. I'm going to go ahead, ladle some or spoon some into my little pot here. We don't need too much. I'm filling it up just that amount. And it's now that I realized I missed a step. There's actually a tablespoon of raw grated onion that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and grate an onion off camera real quick. When that's done, I'll be right back and we'll continue. I totally forgot I needed that when I was grating the cheese. So yeah, I'll be right back. We put our grated onion into the soup. I'm going to go ahead, get a spoon, give it a quick little stir. Like it says to. We're going to, what does it say? We're going to sprinkle in some cheese. It's so weird because it's slivered. Oh, thin Swiss cut into slivers. I didn't sliver them. I grated them. Whatever. It's like I didn't read this recipe 18 times before I did this. I really did. I am so distracted for some reason right now. Probably because I'm close to finishing it and I'm really excited. And I think I just got cheese on my eyebrow. No, it looks fine. Okay. So we have our slivered onion in there. We have our cheese in there. They are supposed to be slices of Swiss. I just went ahead and put some of the grated Swiss in there. I'm going to get my toast and float on top. It says to add a little bit of olive oil on the toast. So I'm going to go ahead and just drizzle a little bit on there. I think that's just to get it toastier, but it's pretty toasty already. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my grated cheese and put it all over the top. I don't really know how much cheese I grated, to tell you the truth. But that's what we're going to get. I will show you what this looks like. It's not perfect, but we've got our bread, we've got our cheese. We're going to pop this on our tray just in case I didn't want to make a mess. So I'm doing it on a cookie sheet. And I'm going to go ahead and broil this. I'm going to actually do it on low just so I have a little bit more control. And we're going to get this in the oven. I'm excited. We are almost finished. Okay. Our soup is out of the broiler. I've let it kind of sit for maybe like 2 minutes or so, just because it was literally boiling when I took it out. But our toast is nice and crunchy. So I'm just going to push that in there to get that where I like it, and maybe see if I can get some of it off for the bite. I don't know. Ooh, this is super hot. Just going to have to blow it off. But this looks like a really good French onion soup. I think it's a little lighter than some of the ones I've had, but that's okay. It's so hot. No, I don't want to stick it in my mouth and then like have everything burn. Hold on. Oh, that is a good French onion soup. That is like, yeah, that was really good. And I think you can taste the cognac in it. I don't think that really cooked off, but I think it gives it a nice flavor. Maybe the only thing I would do is get like a deeper beef stock, but I don't know. I would make this exactly the same way again and enjoy it just as much. It's a really good French onion soup. Um, I guess that's why this is mastering the art of French cooking. And there are things in here like the grated onion, the extra pieces of cheese that I don't think I realized went into a French onion soup. The only thing I might do is add an extra onion just because I like it extra oniony, but you really don't need to do that with this. Um, yeah, I'm gonna let it cool off before I take another bite. But that was super good. The ingredients were easy to get. I already owned the vermouth, so I had to buy the cognac. I think those are the two ingredients in this that are going to be kind of not everyday uses. The French bread, if you get a good piece of French, like a baguette, even if you're not going to use all of it for French onion soup, you can use some of it for sandwiches and things like that. So I don't think that is unnecessary. It wasn't hard to buy onions. I already had butter. I already had olive oil. So I had a lot of this at home. I had about half of it at home. Um, I really liked it. It took just about 2 hours. So it's not hard at all. I think tomorrow it's probably going to be even better, just letting it sit overnight. But I really liked it, guys. I think I'm going to give it a 9, just solely based on the fact that I had to go out and buy cognac specifically for this. And now I have to figure out what else to do with it because I've never used it before, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to give it a 9. I really liked it. It was simple. It was easy. It wasn't hard. It was pretty quick in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, I like this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Au revoir.